Welcome to the Work From Home Show. Ta-da! My name is Marian LaSalle, and with me today we have Lady Lou and Danette, and we're going to be focused on getting you work, okay? Whether it's a side hustle, or maybe you want to find a real job with benefits, or let's say you want to create your own job. That's what it's all about today. Hey, ladies.
Hello. Oh, thank you, Marian. We just love this show because it's helping people. This is one of our favorite shows, and it's proving it with the subscribers and the people who watch the video on YouTube in particular, because we can count those views, but we can't count the Facebooks. So we know we're doing a service that's helping people. And finding a job in this day and age is pretty much online because people are just not hiring in-person jobs or doing in-person interviews. So that's one of the wonderful things about Danette Kubanda. She is our guest today. This lady is a multiple Emmy award-winning producer. So Danette, tell us what that means.
Well, I always say in my previous life, I was a television producer, and I worked for several different networks and shows, most of whom you've heard of. I've worked with CNN, HGTV, Fine Living Network, the Oprah Winfrey Show. That's always everyone's favorite. And I really produced and booked guests for all these different types of shows, from news to lifestyle programming to talk shows. So that's how I transitioned into what I do now as a media trainer to help authors and experts who want to get some publicity, who want to be on those TV shows. I help them figure out how to pitch, what producers are looking for, and how to be a really great TV guest so that you get invited back.
And how to contact them, right?
Yes. that can be a tricky part, but yes.
Oh, that is perfect, because how many of us have seen guests that, are scratching, or they were wiggling and adjusting their clothes and all this craziness that you don't want on the camera. You want to just be there and be happy and smiling and answer questions, ask questions, give information and flow. That's what we strive for on our shows, is a flow, give and take, questions, answers. And you teach that.
Yes. And I like that you brought that up too, because it is, you don't realize how fidgety you might be until you see yourself on camera. Oh, and when you're fidgety like that, that takes away from your message. If people are trying to figure out what's wrong with her shoulder, or what's going on over there, they're not paying attention to what you're saying and what message you want to share and how you can help people. Because that's really what it comes down to. How can you help my audience live a better life in some way? So don't let your message get jumbled up in fidgetiness.
Because distraction on a video is magnified, if you will. Mm-hmm. Because nobody wants to see, you're scratching yourself. I mean, give me a break. Keep that off camera. And one of my pet peeves is when people are drinking, especially if they drink out of a bottle. They got that bottle turned up to the air. And I mean, is that very pleasing?
And I'll admit that's not something that I've faced a lot on TV. We might give you a nice coffee mug of water, but yeah, I can see that doing videos, especially with people working from home now, and so many of the big national shows too are doing Zoom interviews because everybody's at home and you can't be in the studio. So that is a new development, and kind of something we need to pay attention to as we're developing those segments.
Right. There's a fine line here, because it used to be a long time ago, because I've been doing videos for a long time, and it used to be that they only, and I say everyone only wanted the most professional studio produced show or video. They didn't want anything that looked like you were human. Okay. And then all of a sudden we were like, I'd like to be me. Some of these reality TV shows helped that come along. Some of those go a lot overboard. Okay. But anyway, it started looking like, well, maybe people don't mind if you look human, if you drink, if you have a sore throat or something, you take a drink, but let's not go overboard with it, right? Let's not go so over the top that people are like distracted, like she said. You don't want a distraction, but at the same time, I think people are really embracing the fact that we're human beings and that we don't need to be studio produced for everything we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been known to sit here through an entire 30-minute show and my nose itches. Have you ever had a nose itch and you can't scratch it? So I just stretch, that's it. I have to sometimes. But if you do it discreetly and without a lot of fanfare and just be normal, it works.
Yep. I always say, grab that drink, do whatever you have before the cameras start rolling. But if you need to, do it while someone else is talking. So we're focused on the other person and not necessarily looking at you.
Right. And most of us can get through 30 minutes without a drink.
Exactly. Unless you have a cough or a tickle, then take care of that.
Yes, definitely. Because you can feel it coming on. You're like, if I don't take a drink now, it's going to start coughing. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we do when we are looking for a job, especially the remote jobs, is think about all the different aspects that you might be asked to do. So it's good to be comfortable on video. So I love Zoom, and Microsoft has a new one. What's it called? InMeeting or something?
Meetings. Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of different companies now, like StreamYard, who will allow you to go live on, say, Facebook or LinkedIn. Right now, we're live on LinkedIn, a Facebook group, and YouTube all at the same time. And we did have to get used to it. Lady Lou and I started this show. I don't know. The work from home show has been going on probably, 4 or 5 months.
Oh, at least.
How many shows have we done?
Well, I last time I think I said 39, but actually today is 38. I miscounted.
Okay. See,
yeah.
Can't trust her now. No, anyway, but every once in a while, Lady Lou and I will say to each other, okay, what am I doing to annoy you on camera? And one time I remember she said, well, you keep adjusting your shirt. You keep going like this, and it's annoying. And I thought, I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a great wake-up call for me to say, oh, okay. So when you're doing this, it could be that you don't want your own show, but you might want to hone up on your ability to look good on the camera, have your eye level with the camera, and sit up straight and have the right clothes on and things like that, because you might have to do an interview on Zoom.
Now,
absolutely.
Comfy. I'm sitting back in my chair.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it's not comfortable for the audience. They want to see you happy and perky and moving your head and your body a little bit, but not jumping around. I don't mean that, but just be there.
Exactly. Because leaning back, it makes you look disinterested. And if you're not interested in what you're talking about, the rest of us won't be either.
Right. Nobody will like it. So that is so wonderful, Danette. Well, we'll come back to you in a minute, but Marian has some wonderful jobs she has found online. Let us hear what you found this time, Marian.
Okay. Every week we go into specific jobs, but I want you to remember that we have done this for 38 weeks now, and each video that we have has links in it to everything that we've been talking about. So if you're looking for something that you can do online yourself, it's not really considered a job, right? That's considered a side hustle, or maybe it's a full-time income, but you're in charge. Then you can do that because you know what you want to do. You know your talents, and you can find places that will allow you to demonstrate or to promote what you have to offer. And did you all just hear that? Or was that quiet enough where you didn't hear it? Okay. I'm in an office building. I do work from home, but I also have a little gig that I have on here. And the air conditioning or heater's been on, and it was really loud, and all of a sudden it's quiet.
I'm not hearing that at all.
Good. Okay, so I want you to be able to go back. You don't have to watch all the videos. You can just go back and see some of the links that we talked about, especially in the beginning. We talk about all these WeWork and Fiverr and all these places where you could have a side hustle. And I want you to remember that you do have talents, even if it's just your voice, okay? Because people will pay you to do voiceovers, read a book, they'll pay you to use your voice in a lot of different ways, and it's pretty good money. Have you ever experienced anything like that, ladies?
Yeah. Well, think of some of the big stars. You can tell it's their voice even before anybody says, oh, this is so-and-so speaking. You know those voices from the movies and from television, and they get paid big bucks. Look at Joe Namath with the Medicare thing. Oh, my God. He's on a roll. He's making big bucks on those gigs.
Well, you don't have to have a famous voice in order to read a book. So let's say someone writes a really nice book, and it's going to be a bestseller and everybody knows it. They're going to hire someone, and it could be you, to read that book to their audience, and they're looking for a very specific voice. So it doesn't matter if you have a high-pitched voice, or you have a really deep voice, or you talk pretty slow, or you talk really fast, or you talk Spanish or English. It really doesn't matter. There's work out there for you. And I know this because I've been doing a lot of investigating about it. So go over to some of the links that we have in the past that talk about using your voice, okay, to get jobs. Yeah. And I know a few people that make a full-time plus income reading and allowing people to use their voice.
And you don't have to be on the screen.
Well, there is that. Some people like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I happen to have a job today, two specific jobs, and if you're interested, I'd get on it right away because they're going to go fast. I know they are. So you're hearing about this first. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let me get rid of that work from home little banner that we have up there, and the little thing that's going across. This one is, I think, really cool because I don't like clutter. Clutter makes me feel uneasy. I always feel better when I get clutter away from me. If I have a clean office, I just feel better. I feel like I'm getting more accomplished. And this company is kind of like the Uber was, where it just took over. They'll come to your house and pick up your clutter and take it and and they'll store it for you. Isn't that cool? Oh, I hear you children, Danette. How sweet is that?
They're not fighting, so that's a good thing. I think they're
That's
just discussing their videos.
Yeah. So I would like to just, in case you have a small screen, if you're watching this on your phone or something, I'd like to read what they said. The opportunity for clutter is huge. It's poised to disrupt a large, fragmented industry that's been devoid of innovation for decades. Coupled with a generous benefit package that includes stock options and free lunches, clutter is one of the best places to work. And I went to their website and checked them out, and I'm going to read to you what they offer. I'm happy. You get $20 an hour to start. Their schedule is from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. start time, depending on what part of the country you're in. They have stock options. You can own a piece of this Google-backed tech startup. How about that? That's good, right?
Yeah.
Full health benefits for you and your family, medical, dental, and vision. And guess what? They're going to send you a Mac laptop and a headset for your work. You get a monthly internet stipend, and they have some flexibility for remote work that they don't go into, but they say that it's pretty good. You're going to become a resident expert on the clutter platform, the processes, and policies. Now, of course, they have different things that you have to prove to them that you can do, right? Like show up for work and things like that. And so they might have an interview that we talked about. They might have an interview that you do on Microsoft, or I don't know if Apple has some kind of a software for audio and video. Do you know, Danette?
FaceTime?
Or FaceTime. I don't know what they're going to use, but if it's remote and they're in California, they're not going to fly you out to California right now. They're going to do it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
What do y'all think of that job?
I love it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Lord knows I have plenty of clutter.
Don't we all? So somebody from the audience says clutter clearing sounds great. I know. That's Ricky McKenna. Hi, Ricky. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Clutter clearing. Good job. I think. Now that's customer service, and not everybody's cut out for customer service, but at least you know that that is available. Okay.
And at $20 an hour to start.
Mm-hmm.
Big.
A Google-backed startup. That's pretty good. Okay, next one. What we have is Working Solutions, and they have jobs. They have jobs available for you. So it's not that you're working specifically for the company called Working Solutions. It's that they're going to help you find a job. And so what they're doing is, let's see, Working Solutions is the future in focus, working from home as an independent contractor. It gives you the ultimate in work-life flexibility. They support you with ongoing education, which I think is very important, community support. And when you work from home all by yourself, sometimes community support can mean make or break, right? And giving you the right resources to deliver exceptional customer experiences, because if you can't give them good customer service, then you're no good to them, right?
Right.
All right, let me see if I could find more information about that. As usual, anything that I bring you is already vetted, okay? These aren't fly-by-nights. These aren't jobs that aren't really there. These are jobs that I went and researched for you, because I want to make sure that you have not only a good job, but something that's going to be there, right? Not something that's going to be there tomorrow, it's gone. Now, this particular one that they're hiring for today at Working Solutions is for taxes. So it is a temporary job, but I'm sure by the time this temporary job is over, that you'll have the opportunity to find something else through them, because you've already set up yourself for success by saying, you know, I show up for work, I'm a good customer service rep and all that. So think about those two positions as being something that you could look into. Maybe it's not for you, but with 38 weeks of this, I think you can find something that you can do that will bring in money for your household.
Yes. And generally they pay weekly, don't they?
You know, every company's different. Some companies pay bi-weekly and things like that. And we do have another audience member. Hey, Lauren Vines, how are you? So Lauren says she'll check it out. So something we talked about today must have hit her and said, hey, that sounds good. Lauren is from Dallas. Lady Lou is from Conroe. I'm from Houston. And where are you from, Danette?
I'm originally a Pennsylvania girl. So I'm from Pennsylvania, but being in TV, I've bounced around a lot and am currently in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Nice.
Oh, that is nice. Tell us a little bit about Chattanooga. We've all heard about it.
Yes, we all know about the Chattanooga Choo Choo. But it's a beautiful place. It's nestled in the mountains, so that's a very outdoorsy city. But you can go from, you know, why am I blanking on what it's called? Like cliff diving, you know, and then going into caving all in the same day. We have just, you know, Rock City and Ruby Falls are two of our big landmarks. And it's just a beautiful city.
Oh,
I've been to Ruby Falls. Oh my goodness.
Have you?
Many years ago. Many years ago.
If you travel anywhere, you know, through Tennessee or, you know, these middle states, you're going to see the billboards every 5 miles. Go to Ruby Falls, go to Rock City. But they really are beautiful. And it's just such it's an outdoorsy town. It's very techy right now. And it's growing. We've been here for about 9 years now, and it's just growing every day. So
that's beautiful. Something's still working out there not because of the COVID, but in spite of the COVID.
Exactly. And I think it's the tech part of it. You know, all the people who are involved in the tech side of it can adapt to working from home or working remotely and doing whatever you need to by embracing the new technologies that are out there.
Yeah.
Now you work from home, correct?
Yes. I've been working from home for at least a decade now.
Okay, good. So is that part of the service that you offer, is how to work from home?
Well, I mean, when you're an expert or an author trying to get publicity, most of the time they are working from home. You're writing from home, that sort of thing. So a lot of my clients do work from home. I mean, I have some who are still out in the 40-hour-a-week kind of jobs, but for the most part, they at least work from home at part-time.
Can you give us an example of somebody that you work with that, started off working for corporate, lost their job, decided to be an expert or something, and you took them from working that job, where their self-esteem was kind of low, to something that's really working now?
There's so many people. And that's, I think, a big kind of catalyst to get people into what they love, finding what do you love, what can you offer the world. And it usually comes from that place, that being in the corporate world, kind of being on the rat race, the hamster wheel kind of thing, and feeling like that's not what you want out of life. So once people kind of delve deeper a little bit and figure out, what do I have to offer that can help other people live better lives? And that's what it comes down to. How can you save my audience? I'm always talking from a TV producer's perspective, but how can you save my audience money, save them time, help them be more efficient, have better relationships? What can you do to help somebody? And if there is a skill set that you learned in the corporate world, maybe you were a great manager and you can help people manage a home life. I mean, come on, running a house takes a whole lot of mental capacity. So it's, what can you do from that previous job that can offer some guidance to other people who are struggling again, at work, at home, in relationships, whatever it might be.
Right. That's the old create your own job.
Exactly. And a lot of these authors and experts, and, they're creating online courses, they just want to kind of get that out there, let people know, I can help you solve whatever problem you might be facing.
Great. So all your contact information is on the bottom of our screen, and of course in the descriptions under the videos, even on our podcast platforms, the description is there. So contact Danette. This is a beautiful opportunity. So how long normally do you work with each client?
It honestly depends on their goals. I'll have some people who just, want to brainstorm, like how I have these ideas. I don't know how to make them attractive to a mass audience. And then I have other people who kind of want to go step by step. How do I become a great guest? From figuring out their messaging to doing some media training where, we talk about content and key messages and talking points and sound bites. I focus a lot on visuals because TV is my background. So TV is a very visual medium. So we work through piece by piece. What can you do to bring your segments to life? And then I'll even do some recorded interviews with people to give them some practice in that back and forth kind of conversation technique so that producers are interested. It gives them a video to send to the producers they're trying to pitch so that they can envision what they would look like on their air. So
that's great.
Pretty customized.
How long are segments normally on national shows?
I try to keep it I generally have between 3 and 5 minutes, 6 if you're lucky. They're pretty short. So figuring out how to get your message across that quickly, we're not going to know, we can't talk about every single thing you've included in your book. We want to focus on one little bit. And that's really what it is. Give me enough information that I want to come back for more. Because if you tell me everything all at once, then why would I come back for more? But if you give them enough and they wonder, she said this about that, what does she have to say about this? And that's what gets them to buy your book and gets them to come out and hear you speak or sign up for your courses or whatever action it is that you want them to take. Just give us enough really good stuff that we want more.
So we've got a couple of messages here, great tips. says Ricky McKenna. And by the way, Ricky works from home, and she's a nutritionist, a certified nutritionist and a certified life coach. And she should write a book. I'm telling you, I've been trying to get her on TikTok, and she's probably tired of me sending her examples of all these chefs who are doing really cool little, vignettes on TikTok. But I think she'd be fantastic. She's a good guest, and she'd be a perfect subject for you, I think, because she's got so many talents. And it's just we just need to get her out there. We just need to get people to see her because she's so good at what she does. Lady Lou and I belong to her mastermind. She has a mastermind on Thursday nights for an hour where she teaches us healthy ways to eat and feel, because she does the life coaching and the nutrition. She combines them. It's pretty cool. I love listening and working with Ricky. We also have Lauren Vines, who works from home as well. And she says working from home is encouraging humanity to evolve into our future. Wahoo! What a blessing. I
agree.
Lauren.
Absolutely.
And Lauren is in the process of writing a book. Lauren, if you're still there, I've forgotten the name of your book. She used to be the lady who helped Zig Ziglar. Remember Zig Ziglar?
Mm-hmm.
She wrote quotes for him, and that was part of her business. He paid her for quotes. Can you believe this?
Mm-hmm.
Lauren is a brilliant mind, and her book is going to be fabulous. So she's an ideal type of guest that would want to be on a national show, but to promote her book. So
we'll have to have Danette back on, because I think it would be important for us to know what is it they're looking for, so that we can mold our talents into what they're looking for. One more, Ricky says, I would love to read online. I love reading stories to people. What a great idea. Thank you, Marian and Lou and Danette.
Yay.
Excellent. So Lauren answered your question. Story to story, be the hero of your circumstances. Love that.
It's going to be fabulous. So keep at it, Lauren. We know it's going to be a bestseller.
Excellent. So I know that you are out there and you're either looking for a new position because you've been laid off, or the industry just kind of pooped you out. Or you don't really like your job and you'd really like to change it up and be in control of what it is that you want to do. Danette talked about that earlier, that do what you love, right? And so there are people out there that can help you do that. There are opportunities for you. And I don't want you to be unhappy, and I want you to make money, and I want you to be able to work from home if you can. So if you have anything that you need or you want to talk about, please let us know. We're here, and we plan on continuing. In January, we're going to change it up a little bit. Our new show is going to be called Opportunity Knocks. Cute. And so, yeah, isn't that cute? That
the 4th of January will be our first show.
It's funny.
Yeah. It's your Emmy, Danette. I know it's there in the background. Can you hold it up for us?
Yes.
I mean, how many people have an Emmy? Multiple Emmys. Yay!
Nice.
Isn't she pretty?
Oh, gorgeous.
And she's so much bigger than I expected. I don't know. Like when people hold it on TV, it doesn't look that big, but when you hold her, she's
big.
She's heavy.
Love it.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure you have a story behind that.
Oh, let's hear the story real quick.
Yes, she is for producing Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program, Christina's Court, which we shot while I was down there in Houston. So I got my first Emmy when I was working in Houston, and yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Yes. So this lady, folks out there listening and watching, this lady can help you become who knows what kind of a winner besides best-selling author, and maybe you get your own talk show host, be a host. Like look at old Steve Harvey. I mean, that man has risen through the ranks. He worked hard to do it. But we can all do our whatever it is we've been gifted with. His gift, of course, is comedy, and he brings that into every show he's ever been on. And I've been trying to get him on our show. But hasn't happened yet. But just know that you've got talents that
he probably has no idea that you have been contacting him, because he's got gatekeepers, right, Danette?
Most likely, yes. It depends on who you've reached out to, but doesn't hurt to try.
No, doesn't hurt to try, because we have big aspirations for our shows and we want to be more well known. So if you folks out there can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's Marian LaSalle, and you click on her little picture and it takes you to Natural Curiosity. We'd love to have you as our subscriber. And thank you, Danette, for being here. And we'll definitely have you on next year. It sounds like forever, but next year's right around the corner. And
it really is.
But we'll have a more of a well, what are we trying to call that, Mary? More of a honed in type program, so we can get more information on helping others become a winner in their own field. So
I really want to help people decide what they want to do. And that's really the motivation behind it. It's tough when you have to, I know we've gone over just a little of time, but I think this is important because a lot of people go through this. If you're stuck doing something that you can't stand, or that it goes against your principles and your heart, it is miserable. Going to work it makes you, live less. It's just a terrible feeling. And I've had that experience before, and I never want to do that again.
No.
So yes, I probably made a little less money than I would have if I would have stayed in corporate America, but I'm happy.
And that's priceless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us, Danette. It was wonderful. Check her information out down below. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the podcast apps that you're familiar with. And we would love for you to reach out to her and let her know that you enjoyed her today and that you'd like to have her back.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
You
Bye-bye.
Danette.